Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the biggest difference between winners and everyone else isn't talent, it isn't intelligence, it isn't luck. In fact, the thing that separates the people who achieve extraordinary results from those who stay stuck is something far more powerful: their mindset. Have you ever noticed that two people can face the exact same challenge, yet walk away with completely different outcomes? One person grows stronger, finds a solution, and moves forward. The other becomes trapped in frustration, blame, and excuses. What creates that difference? It is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not luck. The difference is responsibility. Here's a powerful truth that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you take back your power. Think about that for a second. If someone else is responsible for your happiness, your success, your opportunities, or your future, then your life is always dependent on forces you cannot control. But when you accept responsibility, you immediately place yourself in the driver's seat. You stop being a passenger and become the architect of your destiny. Many people blame their circumstances. They blame their upbringing, their finances, the economy, their boss, their competitors, or the people around them. While those factors may influence the journey, they do not determine the destination. The most successful individuals in every field understand a simple principle: no matter what happens, they are responsible for their response. And that response is what ultimately shapes their future. Ask yourself this question: how much energy have you spent focusing on things you cannot control? Now imagine redirecting that same energy toward actions that move your life forward. Suddenly, everything changes, your focus changes, your habits change, your results change. Winners understand that complaining may feel good temporarily, but it never creates progress. Responsibility, on the other hand, creates momentum. One of the most empowering beliefs you can adopt is this: if it is to be, it is up to me. Those 8 words can transform your life. They eliminate excuses. They eliminate victim thinking. They eliminate the tendency to wait for someone else to solve your problems. Instead, they force you to ask a better question: what can I do right now to improve this situation? That question creates action, and action creates results. The truth is that responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything that has happened. It is about accepting ownership of what happens next. You may not be responsible for every challenge you face, but you are responsible for how you respond to it. Life will not always be fair. There will be setbacks, disappointments, failures, and unexpected obstacles. But your greatest strength lies in your ability to choose your response. That choice can turn a setback into a comeback and a challenge into an opportunity. Look at the people you admire most. Leaders, entrepreneurs, athletes, and high achievers all share one common trait: they don't waste time pointing fingers. They focus on solutions, while others are searching for someone to blame. Winners are searching for a way forward. They understand that every minute spent making excuses is a minute stolen from growth and progress. The moment you stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What could I do about it?" your entire perspective shifts. You become stronger, more resilient, and more capable. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop waiting for someone else to change. Instead, you become the person who creates change. Responsibility is not a burden. It is freedom. It is the realization that your future is not controlled by your past, your circumstances, or other people's opinions. It is controlled by the choices you make today. And when you fully embrace that truth, you unlock a level of confidence, determination, and personal power that most people never experience. The people who achieve extraordinary success are not necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who consistently take ownership, take action, and refuse to surrender control of their lives to excuses or circumstances. What if the biggest obstacle in your life is actually the greatest opportunity you will ever receive? Most people never consider that possibility. The moment a challenge appears, they see it as a sign to stop, retreat, or give up. But the people who achieve extraordinary success see something completely different. They see opportunity hidden inside adversity. They understand a powerful truth that separates winners from everyone else. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every setback contains value. And every difficult moment has the potential to become a turning point. Think about the greatest breakthroughs in your life. Chances are they did not come during moments of comfort. They came during moments of struggle. They came when you were forced to adapt learn, grow, and become stronger than you were before. That is because challenges have a unique way of revealing strengths you never knew you possessed. Pressure creates growth. Difficulty creates resilience. Obstacles create transformation. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? Winners ask, what is this trying to teach me? That simple shift in perspective changes everything. The first question leads to frustration and helplessness. The second question leads to growth and possibility. When you begin searching for lessons instead of problems, your mindset becomes stronger, your confidence increases, and your ability to overcome future challenges expands. Imagine for a moment that every obstacle in your life was placed there for a reason. What if every disappointment was preparing you for something greater? What if every rejection was redirecting you toward a better opportunity? The truth is that many of life's greatest blessings initially appear disguised as setbacks. The job you didn't get may push you toward a career that fulfills you more deeply. The business failure may teach lessons that later create massive success. The challenge you're facing today may become the story that inspires others tomorrow. History is filled with individuals who transformed obstacles into opportunities. They faced failures, criticism, rejection, and uncertainty, yet refused to let those experiences define them. Instead, they used adversity as fuel. They understood that obstacles are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. Every challenge presents a choice. You can allow it to weaken you, or you can allow it to strengthen you. You can focus on what you lost, or you can focus on what you can learn. One of the most dangerous habits people develop is seeing challenges as evidence that they should quit. The moment things become difficult, they assume they are on the wrong path. But difficulty is often proof that growth is taking place. Just as muscles grow through resistance, character grows through challenges. The discomfort you experience during difficult times is often a sign that you are expanding beyond your current limits. The next time you encounter an obstacle, resist the urge to complain, panic, or focus on the problem. Instead, ask yourself a powerful question. How can this make me stronger? That question immediately shifts your attention from limitation to possibility. It transforms your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. Suddenly, the obstacle is no longer your enemy. It becomes your teacher. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoid challenges. They are those who learn how to use challenges to their advantage. They understand that every setback develops new skills, greater wisdom, and deeper resilience. While others see closed doors, they search for windows of opportunity. While others focus on what went wrong, they focus on what comes next. Their ability to transform obstacles into opportunities is not a talent they were born with. It is a mindset they deliberately chose to develop. That mindset allows them to find strength where others find weakness, possibility where others see problems, and opportunity where others see defeat. What if the reason most people never achieve their goals has nothing to do with a lack of talent, intelligence, or opportunity? What if the real reason is much simpler? They spend too much time waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for more confidence, waiting for certainty that may never come. Meanwhile, the people who achieve extraordinary results understand a principle. That changes everything. Action comes first, confidence comes second. Think about how many dreams have been delayed because someone believed they needed to feel prepared before taking the first step. They tell themselves, I'll start when I have more experience. I'll take the risk when I'm more confident. I'll pursue my goal when the timing is perfect. But here's the truth that separates winners from everyone else. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is a myth that keeps people trapped in hesitation while life passes them by. Every successful person you admire has faced uncertainty. Every entrepreneur, athlete, leader, and innovator has experienced self-doubt. The difference is not that they were fearless or completely prepared. The difference is that they refused to let uncertainty stop them from moving forward. They understood that progress is created through action, not through endless preparation. Ask yourself this question. How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting to feel ready? Most people underestimate what they can accomplish because they overestimate the importance of confidence. They believe confidence is a requirement for action, when in reality, confidence is the result of action. The more you do something, the more capable you become. The more capable you become, the more confidence you develop. Imagine a person standing at the edge of a swimming pool wanting to learn how to swim. They can read books, watch videos, and study techniques for months. But until they step into the water, Nothing truly changes. Growth begins the moment action begins. The same principle applies to every goal in life. You cannot think your way into confidence. You must act your way into confidence. One of the greatest misconceptions about successful people is that they somehow knew exactly what they were doing from the beginning. The reality is often very different. Most successful individuals started before they had all the answers. They learned as they went, they adjusted along the way, they made mistakes, gained experience, and improved through consistent action. Their success was not built on certainty, it was built on movement. The danger of waiting is that hesitation becomes a habit. The longer you delay action, the easier it becomes to continue delaying. Excuses begin to multiply. Fear grows larger. Doubt becomes stronger. What once seemed possible starts to feel impossible. Action breaks that cycle. Even the smallest step forward creates momentum. And momentum has a remarkable ability to turn possibility into reality. Consider the power of a single decision followed by immediate action. One phone call can launch a career. One conversation can create a partnership. One application can open a life-changing opportunity. One courageous step can alter the direction of an entire future. Yet most people never experience these breakthroughs because they remain stuck in analysis instead of execution. The people who consistently win in life understand that clarity often comes after action, not before it. They do not wait until every detail is perfectly planned. They begin with what they know and trust themselves to figure out. The rest, they recognize that mistakes are not evidence of failure, they are evidence of growth. Every action provides feedback, every experience creates learning, every step forward reveals the next step. While others are waiting for confidence to appear, winners are creating confidence through action. While others are searching for guarantees, winners are building momentum. They understand that success belongs to those who are willing to move before they feel completely ready, because action has a way of transforming uncertainty into capability, fear into courage, and potential into achievement. What if the greatest limitation in your life is not your circumstances, your resources, or even your abilities, but the way you think about growth? What if the difference between those who continuously rise and those who remain stuck comes down to one powerful belief? The belief that every skill can be developed, every weakness can be improved, and every setback can become a stepping stone to something greater. The most successful people in the world share a common characteristic that often goes unnoticed. They do not believe their talents are fixed. They do not see intelligence, ability, or potential as something they are simply born with. Instead, they believe that growth is always possible. They understand that who they are today does not determine who they can become tomorrow. This mindset allows them to keep improving long after others have stopped trying. Many people approach challenges with a hidden fear of failure. They avoid difficult situations because they worry about making mistakes. They see failure as proof that they are not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough as a result. They remain within their comfort zones, repeating the same patterns year after year. But high achievers see failure through a completely different lens. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process of success. Think about a child learning how to walk. No child stands up for the first time, falls down, and decides walking is not for them. They fall, they learn, they adjust, and they try again. The process is repeated over and over until what once seemed impossible becomes natural. Somewhere along the way, many adults lose this mindset and they begin to fear mistakes. They begin to avoid failure. They stop viewing challenges as opportunities to learn and start viewing them as threats to their self-image. A growth mindset changes everything because it shifts your focus from proving yourself to improving yourself. Instead of asking, what if I fail? You begin asking, what can I learn? Instead of worrying about looking perfect, you focus on getting better. This shift creates freedom. It allows you to take risks, embrace challenges, and pursue goals that once seemed beyond your reach. Consider some of the most accomplished individuals in history. Their journeys were rarely smooth. They faced rejection, criticism, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Yet they continued moving forward because they viewed every experience as valuable feedback. They understood that mastery is not achieved through perfection. It is achieved through continuous learning and relentless improvement. One of the most dangerous beliefs a person can hold is the idea that they have reached their limit. The moment you believe you cannot improve, growth stops. Opportunities begin to disappear. Potential remains untapped. But when you adopt the belief that every challenge can teach you something valuable, your world expands. Suddenly, obstacles become classrooms. Failures become lessons. Criticism becomes information that can help you improve. Ask yourself this question. What would change in your life if you stopped fearing mistakes and started embracing growth? How many opportunities would you pursue? How many goals would you chase? How much more could you accomplish if every setback became a source of learning rather than a reason to quit? The individuals who achieve extraordinary results are not necessarily the most naturally gifted. They are often the ones who are most committed to learning. They read, study, practice, adapt, and improve. They remain students regardless of how much success they achieve. They understand that growth is not a destination. It is a lifelong process. Every day presents a new opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable than the day before. While others are discouraged by challenges, they are energized by them. While others focus on their limitations, they focus on their potential. While others allow failure to define them, they allow it to refine them. Their commitment to growth creates resilience, confidence, and a level of personal development that continues to compound over time. They understand that the greatest investment they will ever make is not in a business, a career, or an opportunity. It is in their own ability to learn, evolve, and become the best version of themselves. What would you attempt if you knew fear could not stop you? Take a moment and think about that question. How many dreams have been delayed because of fear? How many opportunities have been missed because of self-doubt? How many people have settled for less than they truly wanted because they allowed fear to become the loudest voice in their lives? The truth is, fear has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. Yet the individuals who achieve extraordinary success understand something that changes everything. Fear is not a signal to stop. It is often a signal that you are about to grow. Many people believe that successful individuals are fearless. They imagine that top performers, leaders, entrepreneurs, and champions possess some special kind of confidence that makes them immune to fear. But that belief is far from reality. The most successful people in the world experience fear just like everyone else. They feel uncertainty before making important decisions. They experience doubt before taking major risks. They face anxiety when stepping into unfamiliar territory. The difference is not the absence of fear. The difference is their willingness to act despite it. Fear has a unique way of disguising itself as logic. It whispers convincing excuses into your mind. It tells you that the timing is wrong. It tells you that you need more experience. It tells you that you should wait until you feel more confident. It tells you that failure would be too painful or that success is meant for someone else. The longer you listen, the more powerful fear becomes. What starts as a small doubt can eventually become a wall that separates you from the life you truly want. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine deciding that your dreams matter more than your fears. Imagine choosing growth over comfort, possibility over doubt, and action over hesitation. That single decision has the power to transform your future, because every meaningful achievement requires courage. Every breakthrough requires stepping beyond what feels safe and familiar. Think about the moments that have shaped your life the most. Chances are they involved uncertainty. Perhaps it was applying for a job you weren't sure you could get, starting a business with no guarantees, speaking up when it would have been easier to stay silent, pursuing a goal that others doubted. The experiences that create the greatest growth are rarely comfortable. They demand courage before they provide rewards. One of the greatest lessons you can learn is that courage is not something you wait for. Courage is something you create. Many people believe they must feel brave before taking action. In reality, bravery is developed through action itself. Every time you face a fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, your confidence expands. Every time you choose action over avoidance, fear loses a little more of its power. The comfort zone may feel safe, but it is also where dreams often go to die. Nothing extraordinary is built within the boundaries of comfort. Growth exists beyond them. Opportunity exists beyond them. The future you desire exists beyond them. Yet so many people remain trapped because they mistake comfort for security. They fail to realize that staying the same can be far riskier than taking a chance on growth. Fear will always present reasons why something cannot be done. It will highlight obstacles, risks, and uncertainties. But successful people have trained themselves to focus on a different question. Instead of asking, what if I fail? They ask, what if I succeed? Instead of imagining the worst possible outcome, they begin imagining the possibilities that could emerge if they are willing to try. This shift in focus transforms fear from a barrier into a challenge worth overcoming. Every great accomplishment in history was achieved by individuals who refused to let fear make their decisions. They chose vision over doubt. They chose purpose over comfort. They chose courage over certainty. They understood that fear is temporary, but regret can last a lifetime. And when your dreams become bigger than your fears, you unlock a level of determination, resilience, and potential that most people never discover because they never dared to. Move beyond the limits fear tried to place upon them. Why do some people achieve extraordinary success while others with equal talent, intelligence, and opportunity never reach their potential? Why do some individuals continue moving forward when the path becomes difficult while others stop at the first sign of resistance? The answer is not found in motivation. It is not found in luck. It is found in commitment. More specifically, it is found in the ability to keep going when everyone else decides to quit. Most people love the idea of success, but very few are willing to endure the process required to achieve it. They are excited when they begin a new journey. They feel motivated when the goal is fresh and inspiring. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when progress slows down? What happens when setbacks appear? Results take longer than expected, and the path becomes more challenging than imagined. That is the moment when the real separation begins. Anyone can be committed when conditions are perfect. Anyone can work hard when everything is going according to plan. The true test of character appears when things become difficult. The individuals who ultimately succeed are not necessarily the most talented. They are often the ones who simply refuse to stop. They understand that persistence has a power that talent alone can never match. Think about how many people abandon their goals just before a breakthrough. They spend months or even years building momentum, learning lessons, and developing skills. Then, when challenges intensify, they interpret the difficulty as a sign that they should quit. They never realize that the obstacles they are facing may actually be evidence that they are closer to success than ever. Before, many people give up not because they are incapable of succeeding, but because they underestimate the value of persistence. Every meaningful achievement requires endurance. Businesses are not built overnight. Great careers do not develop instantly. Personal growth does not happen in a single day. Success is often the result of countless small actions repeated consistently over long periods of time. Unfortunately, consistency is where most people struggle. They want immediate results. They want quick rewards. They want visible progress right away. When those expectations are not met, discouragement begins to replace determination. The most successful individuals understand something powerful. Consistency beats intensity. It is not about making one massive effort and then stopping. It is about showing up day after day, week after week, and month after month, regardless of how you feel. They know that extraordinary outcomes are created through ordinary actions performed consistently over time. There will be moments when motivation disappears. There will be days when you feel tired, frustrated, or uncertain. There will be periods when progress seems invisible. These moments are unavoidable. The question is not whether they will occur. The question is how you will respond when they do. Will you allow temporary emotions to dictate your decisions, or will you remain committed to your vision? One of the greatest mistakes people make is relying on motivation alone. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. Some days it will be present, and some days it will not. Commitment, however, remains. Commitment is what drives action when motivation fades. Commitment is what keeps you moving when excitement disappears. Commitment is what allows you to continue climbing when the summit is still out of sight. Look closely at the individuals you admire most. Behind every success story is a season of perseverance that few people ever witnessed. There were setbacks that could have ended the journey. There were failures that could have destroyed confidence. There were moments when quitting would have been easier than continuing, yet they kept going. They understood that every challenge overcome made them stronger, every obstacle faced made them wiser, and every difficult season prepared them for greater opportunities ahead. While others become discouraged by temporary setbacks, they remain focused on the bigger picture. While others allow obstacles to define their limits, they use obstacles to strengthen their resolve. They understand that success is rarely about being the fastest or the smartest person in the room. More often, it is about being the person who stays in the game long enough to win. Their persistence becomes their advantage, their consistency becomes their strength, and their refusal to quit becomes the foundation upon which extraordinary achievements are built.